Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am finally doing this video. I had to sing it. Okay, I'm really excited. And it's morning. I'm a morning person. Not sure when I'll be uploading this, but this is the Teen Jodie bag. I love this. I love it so much. Every time I pull it out, I just love to touch it, and it's so pretty. Yes, okay, into the important bits. This is gonna be a first impressions video. I have used it a fair amount. It's not the most practical bag. Right away, I want to say that I can see this being really polarizing. I think it will be a love it or hate it kind of bag. But I think that's true for the Jodie style in general, among like the 4 sizes. So there is the mini, that's the teeny little one. You can really only carry it, deal with it. You can only carry it handheld. And then there is the teen size that I have. This is the newest size. There is the size up, which they call the small. All of this is very difficult. And then there is the size up from that, which I think they actually just call the Jody. I'll put it on the screen if I'm incorrect. But that one is like, it's huge. You can wear it slung across crossbody. Quick correction, Bottega actually has 2 different bags that are simply called the Jody on their website. One is the size up from the teen, and that sits on the shoulder. That is $4,100. And then they do have the crossbody bag, again, just called the Jody. That one is $6,250. So it'll be really obvious which ones you're getting because the drastically different price points. So they actually have 5 different sizes, the top 2 just being called the Jody. This is the fondant color. They have a couple different shades of brown, and I think they've had a few over the years. This one, it's not the most purpley one that they have, but it does have that like slight tint of eggplant in it that just makes it so multi-dimensional. I really love it in the light when you just see the shine on it. And I think lambskin gets better and better with age, especially Bottega lambskin. I fell in love with them because I got a vintage piece and it became one of my favorite bags. That's the small black one that I got at the beginning of the year. It has gold hardware. Something I want to say that I think is one of the most exciting things about this bag. All Jodie bags now have a lifetime warranty on the leather parts. So if anything ever goes wrong with the weaving, if something comes undone, if there's an issue with the stitching, they will fix it. And I mean an actual lifetime. One time I was in, it was either Canada Goose or one of those big sports brand places that do a lot of like down coats. I don't think it was Canada Goose, it was another one. And they had on the label, lifetime warranty. And the sales associate was like, it's actually like 20 years. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's my cat's lifetime. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. It's not an actual lifetime. Why would you put that on the label? A Jodie bag has an actual lifetime warranty on it. And they said that it was across all colors, all sizes. That is amazing, okay? At a time when I really feel like luxury houses are pulling back on how much they offer, which makes it harder and harder to justify, especially as the prices go up. I feel like there's so much mystery around wear and tear and what they'll actually do for you as far as services. The only thing I've heard consistent information on is like with Louis Vuitton, with the little brass button closures, their little snaps on some of their SLGs. Or yeah, you know, like I think they have one on the like Victorian wallet or something. I'm not great with those names, but I'll often hear that they'll replace those buttons. Sometimes it seems like it can be really dependent on your relationship with an SA, and I find that so frustrating. When I bought this, they handed me paperwork. They then emailed me that paperwork. And all of it was a surprise to me at checkout saying, this has a lifetime warranty. We will service this forever. That is amazing. I love that. And it's another reason why I would prefer to buy it in the Bottega store. For example, at Saks right now, you can get a really sizable discount. Sorry, not a discount, a gift card. You can get a gift card with a purchase. It's a tiered amount, the more you spend, the bigger the gift card, and it actually applies on Bottega. That's great, and it's something worth considering, especially if you have other big purchases lined up. You could always then use that gift card. I personally would still choose to get it from Bottega because I don't know if you would get that paperwork, if you would get that lifetime warranty if you bought it from somewhere else. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I use this, some of the things I've noticed, and I'm going to end with things that you might want to look out for, reasons why I could see this not being right for everyone. First, let me just show you around the bag. It obviously has this knot that is iconic to the Jody. It has a beautiful slouch as you fill it. The zipper, I don't find it that annoying. You do really need both hands free to get in and out of it easily. That's one reason why I didn't like the mini. I don't like the proportions on me. It's very, very cute, but the thing I found most annoying is the zipper. This one, I think it works better for this size. I don't find it that finicky. And then you have a nice big open space. So I do keep mine stuck when I'm not using it. I also keep it in the dust bag, which I have right here. Bottega dust bags are so luxurious, they're really thick, very soft. So this is just a nice big open space. Of course, it's very dark, so you can't see in there. There are no internal pockets, and to be honest, that is perfectly fine. They wouldn't really be that useful in a space like this. This is just a nice big cavernous space, and what I would recommend is using brightly colored SLGs. They don't have to be that bright if you have a lighter color than mine, but having nice bright contrasting SLGs makes it so much easier. I always use my bright pink wallet, my mini pochette, and in the mini pochette I'll keep my house keys, my car keys, all the little things so they're not just free floating in here. And then of course my phone, that makes it so easy to grab anything I need. Sometimes I've had receipts floating around in here. I haven't found it annoying to go like digging around in the bag. I wouldn't consider using an organizer. I would just recommend getting a brightly colored pouch. I was worried that I would find this really annoying to use, but I don't. I often will just keep it unzipped. When I first went out with it, I wasn't really planning how to use it. I wasn't really thinking about it. I just wanted to enjoy my new beautiful bag. And I quickly realized, like, you don't have to zip it up. I, of course, live in the suburbs and I'm just moving around places by car, but even when I was in a busy shopping mall, like, I kept it unzipped, and there's really not much concern of things falling out because it immediately wants to close up. I mean, it wants to like stick more closed, and then it's easy enough just to pop open when you have to reach in. I wear this handheld or in the crook of my arm. I have seen pictures with people much more petite than me wearing it on their shoulder. I don't even want to like, I have deodorant on right now. I don't even want to like pretend to put it on my shoulder to show you, but it does not fit comfortably. I can kind of cram it up there, but I would never wear it like that. It looks ridiculous on me, and I'm like a size 4 to 6. I'm 5'5". It does not work on the shoulder for me, but it's very cute. In the crook of the arm, you have a good enough drop where if I'm wearing a bulky coat, my arm can still fit comfortably through, and of course handheld. I wanted to go for a darker color because I figured it would wear the best. With it being a bag that you really have to touch a lot, something that I was concerned about is how the oils from my hands would darken the leather over time. It's not that big a deal, and I feel like even with something like the parakeet, I wouldn't be that concerned about it. It would be more like those lightest cream colors, the white, the very lightest shade of beige. Something I would think about is just whether or not the handle would darken over time. I do think that this size Jody is the best size. It's certainly the best for me. I love small bags, but this one has like small bag vibes with medium bag capacity. I don't know if that's a thing, but this bag absolutely does that for me, where it can fit anything you'd want to put into it. A continental wallet, any size phone you have. The drop makes it so convenient to get in. It has a really generous, like wide opening. I never feel annoyed getting into this bag. However, there are some things about this size that, and just style, that might not make it great for everyone. I want to go over a couple things that I noticed, and I think they'll be really polarizing for people. So this is not the most convenient bag to use. It is not a good everyday bag. Like, thinking about the kind of things I do in a typical week. I occasionally go out to dinner, I often go to the grocery store, I sometimes have to run errands. I wouldn't take this bag to work with me. So running errands, obviously if you're loaded up with a bunch of stuff, it is not the most convenient bag to use because you have to have this in your hand or in the crook of your arm. A couple weeks ago, I was returning some shoes to Nordstrom Rack, and I definitely managed. I used it, it was fine, but a crossbody bag would have been way easier. Like, I'm carrying the shoe boxes, I have this, I'm getting my receipt out, all that stuff. I used it, but there would have been more convenient bags. So if you don't like that kind of fuss, this might drive you crazy. Obviously, with going to the grocery store, I would never ever bring this to the grocery store. And I almost never say that about my bags. Like, even my white classic flap, I have brought that to the grocery store. But with needing to push the cart, I wouldn't want this like swinging around and hitting all the sharp edges on the cart, and things are wet sometimes, you just never know. And I wouldn't put this in the cart because of the like delicate weaving. I do not want to cash in that early on the warranty because I put this in the cart and like a sharp metal prong scratched it or pulled at something, right? This is not the most convenient bag to use. There are limited places to bring this. When it comes to going out to dinner, something I didn't consider. So this isn't the biggest bag, however, it is of the size where I can't really sit it in my lap. This wasn't something I considered until I actually went to go use it going out to dinner. We go to like a lot of like little hole-in-the-wall type places. They have those little tables and the little chairs, you know. I quickly realized I have to think about where I want to put this when I'm going out to dinner because it can't easily sit on my lap. Like, it's quite voluminous. If it doesn't have much in it, you could maybe do it, but if you have limited space like between your legs and the table, it might be kind of a tight fit. So I will only really use this if I'm going to a place that we've been to before, or if I can like see pictures of the dining area. This is probably extreme, but like if you're watching this video, you're also a crazy bag person, so it's like, it's fine, we can be open here. I would definitely be looking into seeing like where I can keep this when I'm eating. Is it the kind of place where I'm gonna have an extra chair? Is it a big enough table where I don't have to worry about putting this on something wet or sticky? Or is there like a nice long bench? I have done that. We went to one of our favorite restaurants in Philly. It's called Spice Bench if you're ever in the area. I love that place, and it has, not all of the tables have it, but there is some where you're sitting against the window, and I always take the bench side. And partly because I like to have my handbag next to me. And this fit comfortably right next to me. It's the tiniest little thing, but it's something to think about because if you're predominantly going to places with little tables, you start to wonder, when can you actually use this bag? Now, maybe you would be more comfortable than me just putting this on the back of your chair. I wouldn't do that. I would just never ever be comfortable having my back to it, just with it like out open in the room. Now, with all of that said, I mean, I wanted to make it very clear about the fuss factor because it's not going to be for everybody. However, I love this bag. I love it so much that actually, like, dancing around in my hypothetical wish list, the ever-expanding wish list that always goes on in my head, I have thought about doubling this up. I have thought about at some point in the future maybe getting another one. I don't know if it would be the teen size or the small, but currently I really like the small Jody in either the black, or they now have this color called Space. It's like a really different, unusual dark blue. Or they came out with a plum color in the teen size, and purple is one of my favorite colors. This bag makes me so happy. It's beautiful, and I would rather have a bag that brings me this much joy even if I can't use it all that often. And like, maybe that means I have fewer bags in my collection, like whatever it is. I don't need one bag to do absolutely everything. I have other bags that can do that. And I'm someone who changes out their bag every single day. I have naughty cats. You can't trust them not to chew on things or fluff their fur everywhere. So I always have to put my bags away. I did learn that the hard way. They chewed on one of them. and I never made that mistake again. So it is easy for me to switch out my handbag every single day since I put it away. I love this. It just makes me so happy to use, but I wanted to be clear about some of the drawbacks because it might not be for everybody. Now, I hope I covered all the basics about this bag and how I like to use it. These are my first impressions. Please let me know if you have any specific questions about this, something I didn't cover. I can do a what fits at a later date if that helps. I personally tend to skip past those things. Like, I just like to know, like, what's the biggest size wallet? What's the biggest size phone that you can fit? Does it fit in an additional pouch? And all of that easily fits in here. I don't care what kind of phone you have, the Plus, Max, Pro, something, yada yada. So not a phone person, but whatever you've got, like, it can fit in here. Okay, I'm not gonna say it again. I love this bag. I really, really do. But I hope I covered everything. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll talk to you next time.